Hi, so I'm Bradley Cornelli, and this is my personality test I developed. Yeah, I guess we'll just get started with the demo right away. So npm start. Okay, so this should be up and running. So there's three fields we can enter for this personality test. First, to save our user's information, so we can just put random stuff in. So let's do Brad. Brad@gmail.com, and age, let's just do 22. So we can submit that, and then we are brought to our first question. There's 5 questions total. Let's just put in random data so we can get through this really quickly. Okay, so after we enter all our data, we are brought to the user list where all of the recorded users and their data is represented. So down here we can see Brad, which was just recently created. And so since we have access to this user list, if we ever need anything from a user, we can just click on them and we can contact them through email. Okay, so there I'm just going to end the program, Control C, Y. Alright. Oh, whoops. Okay. So we'll just go into the code. So most of this is actually just this chunk here. This represents the page to create a new user, our home page. The information here gets processed, and then we move on to our first question, question 1. And then from there, same thing happens. We process the data from each question, question 1, answer 1, question 1, answer 2. And same thing happens, and then we move on. These are all pretty similar, so I'm not going to go through all 5 of them since they're basically the same. Here's our user list page. This will just show us all of our information about the users and with a link to their email. Yeah, so just a bunch of post get methods for each question. Worked out pretty simply for that. Each page, excluding the user list, does have a header and a footer. The header is that top line where you can jump between each page, and the footer just has my contact information. So if you ever want to use the data in the survey for any sort of analysis, you can contact me and ask me. If you want me to edit the data, I can do it. If you want me to remove the data, I can do it, and so on. So that's what we use our header and our footer for. Okay. So, okay, down here, I was working on getting sessions up and running. I just couldn't with this program. I have it working in my other one. I'm not really sure what the issue is. I think it might have something to do with the libraries, but I am currently working on that, and I'll get that figured out. Yeah, I actually for sure will do this because I think this project will be pretty good to put on a resume for when I start applying to internships this summer. So I do want to get it all figured out and ready for that. And I actually do know some CSS, so I can make our homepage look a little bit more beautiful than what it was. But for the sake of the demo, I just kept it really simple. Yeah, so I guess we can just go into the database and prove that we have the information there. So I simply, for the sake of this, I'm just gonna remove my most recent entry, which was Brad. So db.userCollection.remove. Oops. So we'll search by username and enter Brad. And okay, so that should. Oh, whoops, I spelled it wrong. Okay. db.userCollection.remove. Brad. Let me just double check that. Okay, everything looks to be right. Okay, yep, and we removed the one submission for that.